Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It is Tim. It is Saturday. I know I'm on a roll. Just out of the shower. And today we are going to get rolling with the last of the Taylor's products I haven't tried yet. And this one is St. James cream in a tube. The reason I got tubes, I'm not normally a tube guy, I prefer tubs, is that if you go to the Taylor store down on German Street or St. James, they run a special, 4 tubes for 15 pounds, which is a pretty awesome deal in my estimation. That's what, $3.75 a tube. I can live with that. So, without talking a whole hell of a lot more, let's get to lathering. I watched Baconator's video the other day about using his little Omega Syntex, and I thought I'd give this one a try. This is the Body Shop synthetic brush. I get along okay with it. If you can get one cheap, give it a shot, but otherwise, just get a newer synthetic. But it's not horrible, so we're going to give it a shot. Just dunk it in the water. It was completely dry. Just let it drip out. And there's what Nolan was saying about how the hairs suck in to hold on to water. So I've just left it drip a bit. We're going to plop, no, not that much cream in there. It comes out in a pretty small ribbon. About yay big. So that's half the length of a razor blade 3 times. We'll see. And see how we get on. I had to move the camera because it's going to be messy. It's quite bright outside right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to see me. Alright, let's try paintbrush. Takes a second to get going. We're still flinging water everywhere. Annoyingly. See what happens when you want to try things you've never done before on video? It doesn't work. But sometimes that's the price you gotta pay. Alright, let's play. Well, that seemed to help a bit. Maybe I shouldn't have went so deep in the nut. I think we're starting to bloom a bit because I can actually smell this now. It's pleasant, inoffensive. I would call it kind of bright. It's really light to my nose, which may or may not reflect how you pick it up. Certain scents just don't really hit me right. A lot of fragrances with cedar in them, I pick up mostly as black pepper, which is really kind of a bummer, because I have several fragrances that are kind of ruined for me. And I don't know why that is. I'm not a perfumer. I don't understand the chemistry involved. I mean, on a fundamental level, sure. You take your essential oils and fragrance oils and blend them and do your magic. And perhaps play around with a few synthetic chemicals. Alrighty, we're going to see how this goes. This doesn't feel super awesome, but I think we've wasted enough time. Today we're going to use, the other night with the grapefruit, I got, after the shave settled down, I got an absolutely amazing shave out of this thing. It's the closest I've been on my neck in a long time, and I was still baby butt when I woke up the next morning, which is pretty awesome because my stubble seems to really rally at about 4 a.m. I used to work mid-shift, so I just happen to know when it feels like it's really picked up. Did some research today on how to use OpenShot, just the video editing program that I use on Ubuntu, and learned some things that aren't super intuitive at first when you've grown up in the environment of using other programs. But now that I've seen how you expose some of the features, it actually makes a lot of sense. So maybe I can start putting a little whiz bang in some of these videos when it's needed. No real super needless like, hey, I'm on a green screen just for the hell of it, but pardon me, sorry. I'm just gonna go, like before, across the grain twice on my mustache area. This pass and then the next. If you've never used a single edge before, I know there's a few guys who've been asking about it lately, and I'm really sorry I can't remember your name. I think it was somebody the other day talking about running down to or using Black and Decker blades. Don't. There's a few things you'll notice. They're really loud, or at least this one is. And because of the size of this head and the angle required, that's what I was talking about with needing to facet your face a little bit better. Because it's super easy to go fast on flat parts. And it will take some time and practice to start navigating curves on your face with any real competence. Might as well show you. Oops. Dust those off. These are the blades I got. I think I ordered them from Connaught personally because he's a few miles up the road and stuff gets here the next day, and his prices are really good. You know, just a big old 100-pack of what look like paint scraper blades, but they're decidedly not. The shaves, in my opinion, are once you get it down, really comfortable. I think. But, you know, just like DEs, there is variation from razor to razor. Some are much milder or more mild than others. Whereas there are some that are pretty scary. And I got myself pretty good with this a few times when I started. But they're, you know, they're available. They're not quite as in demand, I don't think, as DEs. So they're pretty cheap to pick up. This injector was also really cheap. This is also another way to single edge shave. I like this. It does a good job, and it really needs cleaned. Now this is where I lose a bit of time if you pay attention to the angle anyway. I can zip up my throat, but you'll, at least with my throat, I notice once in a while that it gets a little skippy. Not in a peanut butter way. So we've got most of the upper lip caught pretty well. I could feel the only places that it left anything really was my trouble spots, which is, right under here, and then right about here, and usually down here. So it's where there's contours on my upper lip. I can see it if I look in the mirror. I can see where the contours change slightly. But for one pass, these things, they work. Now, we're going to have to do something here about this lather. It's still being lather, but it's not holding up super well. I'm going to chalk that up to growing pains. I know it's not the cream, it's the Tobs cream. They practically laugh at themselves if you ask nicely. I always do quite poorly on this spot right here, where the divot is. I usually don't mind because of how, just the geometry of my face here. I don't ever touch that part, so I don't mind. So what are we going to do to fix this? This is the newer VDH soap. Just a dash of water on top. Yeah, I think that was exactly my problem. Just putting it in the center of this brush and not leaving it towards the tips. Because that was only a couple of seconds and that loaded like a boss. This is quite nice. It's quite yogurty, a little thin. I got a little carried away with that last dip in the sink, but feels quite slick coming off the brush. This, to me, is where the SE really makes its money. It does an unbelievably good job on my neck with no irritation. Because I have the good luck of my hair growing quite flat from, if this ear is my origin point, it grows straight towards this one. So it's very flat and it just comes that way. And then, I don't think my Adam's apple particularly looks huge, but it certainly feels like you're trying to run a lawnmower over a fire hydrant. Going quite light on the pressure because my angle, there's something about the angle I use when I come at this side of my face. This side of my jawline always shaves a bit better, so trying to use a bit less pressure. Thing number 2 just woke up from a nap, so it sounds like he and his sister are either playing or fighting over something, or some combination thereof. Just going to touch this up down along the jawline because I overlap a bit in that area. Yep, they're fighting. Let me close that door real quick. I've noticed that my hair kind of starts out growing straight here and radiates out a bit. So when I'm trying to teach myself to put a little angle to the razor to come up and meet that and get it against the grain. I have to hit that spot again. spot, I mean my chin. Okay, we got a little skippy coming up over the ridge here, which is fine. I don't mind, and usually with the curvature of my jawbone, when it skips, it tends to come away from my face and not into it. If my chin were shaped differently, it would be a very uncomfortable experience. Sorry, this patch of hair on the very edge of where my Van Dyke would grow just comes from here and goes that way. So now down here is that bit I'm talking about where the angle just stops doing that and just curls in. On my upper lip, I don't usually go straight against the grain, or straight up and down, except for right under my nostrils. I find that coming up at this angle does the job just fine. Yes, that is very much danger, Will Robinson. I hate... excuse me, sorry. I hate doing that because, you know, there's a lot of stiff blade here. But I also don't much care for inconsistency. So to have like one hair sticking out right here will drive you batshit crazy. And I was really amazed the other night how well my tech did to finish up my upper lip, but the face feels all healed up today. Let's give it a rinse, see how we did. I'll pull up this jawline and use the old trick, rub your fingers on some alum and pull up and try. Essentially, what you're doing there is pulling this jawline up to above your jaw. And since you're putting a little tension on the skin, doing a little bit of a stretch there, you're getting a nice flat taut surface to shave. And that will take that trouble spot and make it now ridiculously smooth. A little bit on this side of my throat, but I'm not going to chase it. This has been despite the weeper from getting carried away on it, or weepers on my upper lip from getting carried away like an idiot, a supremely comfortable shave. Really nice. I've quite enjoyed this, even if I need to learn how to face lather with this thing. I think we'll try a soap next time. Again, Tim, everyone loves to hear you clean up, but it gives me a chance to hear the sound of my own voice, which I do really like. A few weepers there. I did see one up here earlier, but that's already stopped. That's good. Hey, it's a synthetic. Just set it up there and forget about it. Now, something I've taken to doing lately. That was loud, sorry. I keep rubbing alcohol on this. I keep a persona in here. I shave my wife's legs once, twice a week. And I know that goes through through blades pretty quick. So I use a blade twice on her, and I just keep hers in there, so I don't mix it up with mine. Personas work really well. She has really light, thin hair. so that it doesn't oxidize and that I don't mix it up. But in getting this little tub out, I've also realized that if I just dip the head of my razors in it real quick, you know, the blades dry a lot nicer. And I don't get to have as much problems with deposits on my razor heads. Okay, so I'd like to come up with a better solution for it because it's not it's not ideal. Almost. If I had like another one of those chili bowls that had actually a seal on it, that would be pretty much ideal. I need something small and sealed. It obviously doesn't need to be any bigger than this. Maybe this tall and seals. So let's see, post shave. What are we gonna do? What else? Let's say hi to our friend from Boots with the glycerin added. Yikes! Oh, Wow, that'll wake you up. Yep, got a little carried away over here. But it has a great face feel. This is actually one of my favorite feeling splashes. And I made it. With that much alcohol, as it gets on your lips, at least if you massage like I do, and you might not want to. I've seen what I look like on video. It's horrible. It gets on your lips, and then you do something foolish like, That's just straight, you know, rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol. I use a bit of Jack Black post-shave cooling gel with aloe, sage, and lavender. It does smell really nice. For me, the way my skin reacts to glycerin, which is one of the constituent ingredients here, is it prefers a bit of water on the face. Otherwise, I feel really sticky. Put a little water on it to kind of, I don't know, preload it. Give it something to do right away. And then I don't really have the tackiness. It'll absorb nice and quick. I always have problems with this ridge in my nostril, just in case anybody cares. You know, it tends to dry out and flake a smidge if I don't stay on top of it. So that's that. This goes back over here. Now, we're going to do some Spice Bomb tonight. This is by Victor and Rolf, and it's not as spicy as I thought it would be, but it is spicy, and it's really nice and woody. Very masculine smelling. I quite like it. There. And this atomizer is ridiculous, so I only aim to about halfway hit any surface that I don't want to smell for the next couple of days. But, you know, my options to order decanting equipment are quite limited. So there we go. That's the shave. I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Of course, I don't know how much weekend is going to be left by the time I get this uploaded. Although I discovered I can tether from my phone to my my computer through USB, and my upload speed is about 4 times better. So maybe it won't take 3 hours to upload a video anymore. Maybe it'll only take 45 minutes, which would be awesome. And holy shit, we're at half an hour. Bye.